They are an edutainer, which I believe is a portmanteau of education and entertainer. Please welcome to the show for the first time, Jill Noll The Magic Doll.
Well, hello. Wait, it's not Scott. Thank you for having me. My name is Jill Nall. I am the magic doll, but I'm not a magic doll. I'm a person.
You're a person. I'm sorry.
But I'm a doll, and I like to tell people about magic.
Oh, I see. So you're a doll much in the same way that a private dick was 40s slang for a detective. You're a doll in 40s slang, meaning a woman.
Exactly. Like the Guys and Dolls.
Oh, I see.
The musical.
Well, I gotta admit, I was very excited when I first thought that a magic doll would be on the show.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry. I'm a real human being.
You are. You have such a fanciful voice, though.
I do.
To be honest, you sound like a magic doll.
Me?
You do. But describe your physical parameters for the listener.
Oh, yes. Okay. I cannot exceed these parameters. these aren't set. I'm a grown person, so I've finished getting taller.
Okay.
So these are my physical parameters. I'm 5'2". Eyes of blue, but what those 5 feet can do is just tell you about magic.
So you're a full-grown woman.
Yeah.
You are not tiny. You are not a tiny doll that has come to life.
No, I'm not. I'm not. But Scott, it's funny that you mentioned dolls coming to life because that, of course, sounds like magic, doesn't it? And what I like to do is educate people about how magic is all in the world. It's all over the place, and it makes things happen every day.
Oh, okay. So wait a minute. We're talking about like stage magic or close-up magic?
No, real magic.
Real magic.
I want to edutain people about real magic.
Well, what do you mean when you say real magic? Are you talking about the literal, like...
curses and spells?
Thank you. Sorcerers, witches?
Warlocks?
All of the above.
Okay, so we have spells and curses, witches, and warlocks.
Spells, curses, witches, warlocks.
Spells, curses, witches, warlocks.
Warlocks.
Spells, curses, witches, warlocks.
Like, have you ever been curious about how the ice is formed? Water goes into the freezer, and then when it comes out solid the next day.
The next day?
Your timing is a little off, but yeah,
Now, young man, are you checking your eyes every hour?
Well, are you implying that like the sun has to set on the ice in the freezer? It like has to spend the night in the freezer before it turns into ice?
Of course not. That's absurd.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, if you open the freezer too soon, the magic won't work.
Okay.
To be honest, I was curious about how it works. I listened to the Vanilla Ice song "Ice Ice Baby" expecting some answers. And it seemed like
so close.
It seemed like it was all just boasting about how good of a rapper he was.
I remember listening to that song and thinking, "Here it comes. He's going to reveal it," and then he never did.
He never did. So what is the process? Take us through this.
Well, water is made up of tiny little particles called the Mishu. These are an ancient race who live to hydrate human beings.
The Mishu? Is that what?
Yes, it's magic. It's simple magic. So, all of the Mishu live inside water. Then you put the water in the freezer. The Mishu don't like it, and so they try to protect themselves by forming a hard shell. It takes them a day to do it.
What happens when you boil water? Is that bad for them?
It's not good for them. That's why the Mishu start disappearing. The longer you let water boil, the more the Mishu will go away. It's magic.
Where do the Mishu, I have that correct? Where do they come from?
They come from a dark place long ago called the ocean.
Oh, no, we have the ocean. No, we know about the
ocean. Not the ocean you know. Not the ocean you know.
Oh, this is a different ocean.
This was a land.
Oh.
Isn't that weird? It was a land called ocean.
This was a continent that no longer exists or something?
Not a continent, really. It was like a real big island.
Oh, okay. I mean, some would call a continent a real big island.
No, this was like a huge island.
You're talking about Pangea.
No, I know what you mean. I'm not talking about that. This was a huge island.
Are you talking about Atlantis?
No, I know that one too. That's not what I'm talking about. This was a huge, gigantic island. It covered
What about Lemuria?
Nope.
Lemuria.
This covered almost the entire Earth.
It covered the entire Earth. So
Almost, I said.
Sorry.
Don't take words out of my mouth.
So where was it not covering it? And was that replaced by water?
It was not covering the area we now know as hell.
So I'm just trying to get a sense of what the Earth looked like back then. It was almost all land, other than hell,
Except for hell.
which was water.
That's right.
And then
No, hell was not water.
What was hell? It was
Hell was fire?
Just
Okay.
fire. Yeah.
fire or other people?
Okay, now that's a good one. I'll give you that.
It's humorous. It's definitely
I'm a
humorous.
I'm a
humorous. It's humorous. Makes me think of a black and white line drawing that you've seen in a magazine. Someone standing at a counter
At a psychiatrist's office.
With an oblique
That is-
caption.
at a smart dinner party.
So I'm imagining the Earth, it's just like a great big ball of dirt with fire coming out of both ends.
No, just one part. Just
Fire
one
coming out of
part.
both ends. It sounds like me after Del Taco. Am I right?
Did you set yourself up for that?
I think I may have. By the way, we're sponsored by Del Taco, so I am contractually obligated
Congrats. That's big.
to make jokes
That's a
about
huge-
them.
Big one.
This is an incredible tale. How did you get so interested in magic, if I may ask Jill Noll the Magic Doll?
Well, I've always been a curious person, and I always wondered why are things the way they are? There must be an explanation. And then I found out it was magic.
How did you study this? Who told you?
Well, I asked my parents. They didn't know shit.
Who are your parents? Are they named the Magic Dolls as well, or
No, what?
what is their surname?
Noll.
Oh, okay. So your surname.
Did
is
you
not-
forget I had a last name?
I did, as a matter of fact.
I'm Jill Noll, the Magic Doll.
So Mr. and Mrs. Nall,
That's right.
they told you about
Yes,
magic for the
I'm
first
an
time.
old maid, soon to be a crone.
I guess I didn't ask,
I guess you didn't.
but you're proud of it. It sounds like.
Well, I've made my peace with it.
Yeah. Did you desire companionship growing up and into your?
Naughty. I had many squires, many beaux in my youth. I was
Lovers.
quite the gal around town, and I had many suitors.
So you slept around.
Yes, I did, but that's not.
Like how? What's your number? What are we talking?
Oh, come on.
No, I just want this is the part of the show where we sort of bro down and talk about the number of people we've had sex with.
Now, see, I can't win because I'm not ashamed of it, but I know if I say it, it's going to sound a certain way because of our society.
Just say it. I mean, who's listening to this show anyway?
2000.
2000? How old are you?
Good for you.
What the? That's a question I can't believe you would ask a lady. How old am I?
But come on, just answer it.
How about this? If you guess, I'll tell you.
Are you?
2000.
No. Oh, so I was having sex when I was 1? You're gross.
You can have sex with more than one person a year.
I only have sex once a year.
Okay, so you're 2020.
2020 in honor of the year we're living in.
That's right. So you were born in 0 BC?
That's right.
What did they call it back then?
They didn't call it anything.
They just said today.
Today. Now. They called it now.
We would say it's the year 0 right now.
Was there a year before the year 0?
Yes, -1. It was so, you have to understand, it was so exciting when the countdown would happen year after year. We're getting closer, we're
Closer
getting
to
closer.
0.
And soon we could go up.
But now you wouldn't know that because you were born in 0. But
That's
someone
right.
told you about this.
Yes, my parents, of course, Mr. and Mrs. Nall.
Mr. and Mrs. Nall, are they still with us?
Yes, they are.
So they're 2040 or so?
They're 30,000 years old apiece.
What?
That's
crazy.
60,000 collectively.
Magic.
Wow. So they had you when they were relatively old.
They're considered middle-aged now. I'm
Right.
still considered quite young by
Wait,
normal
are you
standards.
human?
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Yes, of course I am.
Are your parents human?
Yes, we're just cursed is all.
Oh.
We're just as human as you are, except cursed.
Who cursed? Did they curse your parents and you separately, or was it the
They
whole?
waited till I was born, then they cursed me. Showed up at the hospital. What? Can you believe that?
Amazing.
First thing that happens after my parents finally have a child.
So they had been trying to have a child, much like the Rumpelstiltskin story for.
Yes, he was. Yes, Rumpelstiltskin. It turns out he was sterile, and he couldn't have children of his own. I don't know what story you've heard, but yes, Rumpelstiltskin. He tried to have children many times. Eventually, it broke up his marriage, and his wife went on to have a huge family. And then he started to make bargains with people so he could experience the joys of fatherhood.
And he wanted to be a single father.
He desperately wanted it.
Does this have anything to do with your story? Was he involved?
Nope.
So your story is not part of the Rumpelverse.
I wouldn't say so, no.
Is it part of the Arrowverse?
Yes.
Really?
It is part of the Arrowverse.
So who cursed you?
It was a powerful dark mage named Raksha.
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 No, it's Raksha. But
Raksha.
I was throwing a little sauce on it.
Raksha. Why
Raksha.
did Raksha want to curse your family? I mean, and waiting for you to be born? I mean,
Because Raksha loved my mother, don't you see, Mrs. Nall? And when she chose my father over Raksha, Raksha was furious. His fury knew no bounds. He cursed both my father and my mother, but he told them that each of them cursed each other, just to
fuck with them?
Just
a
to
mind
fuck with
fuck.
their heads. Exactly. It was a classic dark mage mind fuck.
So they were under the impression that the other person had cursed them, and this Raksha cursed you as well at the hospital?
Yes. First he cursed them, told them they cursed each other. So there was a real O. Henry aspect to it.
Sure, yes.
Then, much later when I was born, he shows up at the hospital. He's wearing a surgical mask.
Sort of.
Which is interesting because germ theory had not been discovered at that point.
Let's talk some germ theory. Germs? Do you want to know the magic behind germs?
Please tell us, because a lot of people are going through it now. Yeah, we're all wearing the surgical masks now.
Germs are excess
The musical
magic
fruit.
particle.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's not even how the original thing goes.
You said germs twice.
I said germs are. I didn't
No, you
say
said germs. Yes, you
I
did. You
did
said
not
germs
say
twice.
that.
Let's roll the tape. Roll it back.
I refuse. Germs.
Oh, see?
You got me. Germs are excess magic particles that are shaken off from spells that go beyond the point where they are needed.
It's like excess capacity.
Exactly. So if you're trying to turn someone into a cat and you turn a large man into a cat, well, where did the rest of that mass go? It becomes magic germs, and these are deadly to human beings, or can be.
So it's always turning something big into something small. Because can you turn something small into something big?
No. It's the one thing magic can't do.
Really?
You can't turn a small thing into a big thing.
Oh, so it's a one-way trip.
That Cinderella movie, it's a bunch of hogwash.
Yeah.
You can't turn mice into horses. That's absurd.
And carriage men.
Where are you going to come up with this extra mass? It's simple magic.
Wow. So it's a lot like if they invented time travel and you could only go backwards. You can never, I mean, I guess you can move forwards through time through our own time
We're
machines,
doing
which are
it
our
now,
bodies. Yes.
thanks to magic.
That's right. Oh, wait, time is magic as well?
I think it's magical.
I've heard time is money.
you?
but Magic?
Don't you know the story of time?
I guess I don't. I mean, I'm learning so much about everything. Please tell us.
Is it a long one? Can you slow it down for me?
It's a short story, but I can tell it very slowly. Is that something you like on this show?
That's what we call main humor.
That's
Yes,
Comedy Bang
please.
Bang in 2020.
There used to be no time, And at the very beginning of things, no one knew it was the beginning of things because there was no time. Get it? So everyone's just standing around. And there was a great witch, and her name was Coralda. And Coralda said, hey, I'm bored. Is this all there is? And then she started running and running and running and running and running and running. She's running in place very quickly just to have something to do.
Sure.
Well, it started the earth turning, and it started the sun moving about in the sky, and that's how we got time.
Wow, amazing the things you learn. I mean, so the earth was sort of a cosmic treadmill.
I guess. I mean,
That's part of the Arrowverse, I believe. Yeah,
That is
that's
part of the
connection.
Arrowverse, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I love that character, the cosmic treadmill.
Yes. My favorite DC Comics hero. Hand appliance.
It's like, do you remember hearing about that guy who had the fetish of being walked on and he would roll himself up in a carpet?
The human carpet.
The human carpet.
Is that part of the Aladdin-verse?
He would show, that's part of the Aladdin-verse, correct. Don't you dare shut your eyes.
Well, this is incredible, Jill Nall, the Magic Doll. And at no point have you been turned into a magic doll, because there's no way to turn you back into what you are now. So that's proof.
Well, unfortunately, I have been turned into a life-size magic doll,
What?
Oh.
but thankfully turned back.
Same
Okay.
size.
Same size.
Particle for particle.
Exactly. So, magic.
Sort of like a sex doll in a way.
Your words, not mine. A sex doll is not a sex doll unless you use it for sex. Otherwise, it's just a doll.
Okay, so no one used you for sex. So this is outside of the 2,000 other men that you've been with.
Well, it would be anyway, even if they did, because I would have been a doll.
Okay, I understand that. Well, you were alive though, were you not? Or were you turned into a non-living sex doll?
Are you asking if I had sentience?
Yes, exactly.
Was I aware of what was happening to me?
Yes,
Did I experience every moment in a prison?
of course. Yes.
No. I was just a dead, dumb doll.
So your brain was turned off, and then at a certain point, suddenly on goes the light switch again, and you're back.
On goes the light switch again.
And you're back to being human.
And I'm back to being Jill Nall the Magic Doll.
And who did this? Was this the same person who cursed you before?
It was a little kid. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it.
What?
It was a little kid making a dumb wish.
Wait,
Like a Twilight Zone type kid?
or like a liar?
Like both. Imagine Liar Liar in Twilight Zone.
Oh man, I can't imagine those two universes
Are
doing a
wishes
crossover.
magic? Is that the same thing? Is a wish magic?
Wishes are magic, yes. That's why you must always wish on a birthday cake, because you want your birthday wish to come true.
So can we all do magic? Can we all harness this
You're
power?
doing it right now.
In what way?
Wait a minute. Is podcasting magic?
It can be.
I
Oh,
thought
you
that it was
see?
technology. Oh. No, you please.
No, it's okay. I had a stirring speech, but go ahead.
I'd love to hear the speech if possible.
No,
would
it's the moment's gone.
Okay, do you want me to set you up again? Is podcasting magic?
Yes. The things that you do improve people's lives.
God damn it, John. We were going to hear a stirring speech.
You give people hope in times of darkness. Anyway,
Well,
who
none of
cares?
that stuff is true anyway.
All right. Well,
Wow. This guy's a real gloomy Gus.
you know what, Jill Nall, the Magic Doll, we have to take a break if that's okay.
Breaks are magic.
We need
I'll magic us to the break.
Here we go. When we come back.
Mar-a-Lago!
Mar-a-Lago. We also have Jill Nall, the Magic Doll,
Jill Nall the Magic Doll.
who once was a magic doll, although maybe you...
Please
no.
don't keep bringing that up. Please.
Wait, but were you a magic doll, or were you, by the process of magic, turned into a regular doll?
I was by the process of magic turned into a regular doll, but that makes me a magic doll.
I mean, you're a regular doll.
I was briefly Jill Nall the Magic Doll, the Magic Doll.
I think you were Jill Nall, the regular sex doll.
I don't know what you want me to say. You just want to keep saying this. I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what to do.
What was the cleanup process like once you came back to life?
Come on! It was a little boy. He got dragged away before he could do anything.
Oh, wait, so how long were you this sex doll then?
5 years.
5 years. So you where were you? You were just sitting in the little boy's bedroom, or
I was in a warehouse.
okay? So wait, the little boy was shopping with his parents, and he saw you.
I was taken to a warehouse. The
Oh.
little boy saw me on the street. He picked up a penny, made a wish. I became a doll. He tried to climb on top of me. His parents were horrified. They dragged him away. They called somebody, the manufacturer of the dolls that they thought I was manufactured by. I was recalled. I was put into a warehouse for years and years. Are you happy? It's not my favorite story to tell about myself.
Can I ask a question?
Is it about magic?
Well, it's about kind of, yeah. Do you do regular stuff like go to the post office and like buy clothes?
Regular stuff.
Who goes
All
to the
those
post
things-
office to buy clothes?
All that.
No, no, not those are two. That's like one afternoon.
I do because it's magic.
Okay.
I go to the post office. I use a magic spell to see what clothes are in packages in the back room. Then
I don't mean like
use,
steal clothes from.
I
the
use a
post
magic forgery paper to get those clothes.
This is what, by the way, one of the
Take them for
only
my
things
own.
you cannot do with Squarespace.
Stamps.com?
That's right. I forgot my own
boy.
sponsor.
You
forgot.
cannot do
After 8 years with them, I've forgotten their
You
name.
cannot do this with Sherry's Berries.
I remember them.
They were good. I wish they'd
They
stuck
were
around.
legitimately good. I know.
They sent me some Sherry's Berries one time. We
They were
enjoyed
delicious.
them very much. Yes.
Well, speaking of delicious, we need to get to our next guest.
Tie it together to delicious.
She is deliciously entertaining.
we go.
She is a podcast guest, and I got a little more
Lucky Charms
information
are
about her.
magically delicious.
Yes, they are. Now, this is not. Does that person, the leprechaun, have a name, or is it just Mr. Lucky Charms?
I believe it's Lucky.
Lucky
believe
is
it's
his
Lucky.
actual name. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Is his last name Charms?
Yes, of course.
Yes. Actually, I mean, Lucky might be a nickname. I think I heard somewhere his real name is Robert.
Robert.
Robert Charms?
So shortened to Bob as a nickname, or
No, Lucky is the nickname.
oh, okay.
Come on.